Hello, good people of YouTube. Sealord here. And today, this is not my review for the Carl, the new spicy Swedish boy. That video will be coming out tomorrow, hopefully. But rather, we're talking today about something that I've been wanting to talk about, and now that 12.8 has been released in full, I want to hear you guys' position on this subject matter. And what subject matter is that, Sealord? Well, I'm so glad you asked. So, for some time now, leading up to 12.8, there seems to be either a large number or a very loud set of players that are just incredibly upsetty spaghetti, since we're still in the first 60 seconds of the video, about Airship Escort coming to random battles. And what do I mean by that, if you're wondering? So, if you would take a peruse through various community discussion forums like the Reddit, and unlike the forums that have since been deleted, but I'm pretty sure that, and you can probably still see the archived conversations that were being had on the forums about it, there seems to be a decent number of players that use these services that are upset that Airship Escort is coming to random battles, or in this case has already arrived and are in random battles now. Why, Sealord? The mode was so much fun, and I enjoyed it. I know you enjoyed it because I watched your videos, and that's what the general vibe I got out of the mode was too, and out of the videos I had put out on Airship Escort. But then it seems in the past couple of months leading up to its full release, these players have popped up. And I'll read you a couple of their comments on the mode. So the first one, at least the first one that I saw kind of recently, I think this one, yeah, it was about a month ago, was this post here made on the Warships subreddit by Mr. Delicious Fun 3975. He says, "Airship in random is stupid. I have now played several games in PT. About 50% of the time you get Airship Escort. Of course, I know that this is not representative of the final percentage of games in the live server, but there will be some percentage of games when it goes live, just like Arms Race. This is stupid on many levels. It's just one of the sea of indications that Wargaming does not listen to its player base to a point where it looks like they are just taking the piss at us." Yes, we are past the first minute of this point. "Yes, we liked Airship Escort as a separate mode. You pine cones." That's an interesting insult. "The only reason we liked it is because it is a separate mode. Wargaming, oh, I hear you like that ice cream shop that you visit after school. Now you explicitive live there, you little shite." So, that's pretty strongly worded, shall we say. And the man got 160 upvotes and 76 comments on his post. Most of them do seem to be agreeing with him. Now, that one was from 20 days ago, so maybe attitudes have changed. Well, So if you go check out the Reddit post that has the 12.8 update notes linked into it, you'll find a comment down there and a couple of, again, other comments saying similar things, like this one. "Yuri, put down the bottle of vodka. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants airships thrown into randoms. There's so many reasons I can't even list here. Sober up and put down the spreadsheet just one time and show some actual common sense, and do what the community wants. Airships should be a standalone mode, period. Anything that's good in the last 5 years, you pretty much find a way to ruin it." And again, if you look into the post underneath his post, there's similar comments there. Now, there are some disagreeing with them, and we'll get into that in here in a second, but these are just two of the posts that I've seen most recently, and of course two of the ones that come up when you do search in Airship Escort into Reddit is why I picked them. But I've seen posts like this on the comment section of my video and other places throughout the internet space, like, again, continuing on with the subreddit theme we're going on here, and of course in the forums before they got nuked. And it's very weird, in my mind at least, because first off, Wargaming was very upfront that Airship Escort was going to be a new mode in randoms, and they were very clear about that when they put up the standalone mode for testing. Like, in the article that was released when they were put into the main client for testing, they were very clear that this is going to be a randoms mode. We're just testing it out standalone for now, testing the route that the airships take, and some of the other finer details about the mode and such. And in addition to that, my main thing about it is that this is a way to kind of yank the meta and just drag it just a couple of inches back towards mid-range engagements rather than the long-range snipe fest most higher tier games and even mid-tier games have become. And when I was playing through it in the standalone mode, that was what I was thinking about most of the time is, oh my god, finally we have a mode that encourages players to push in and, in this case, literally escort an objective through the map at very close ranges. You have to, be in the range that the airship has around it in order to get it to travel faster than the enemy team's airship. It forces you into those close to mid-range engagements. And for years, and this is coming from someone that, of course, runs a Warships primarily centric YouTube channel, I've seen all the comments talking about how, the meta becomes more and more passive with each passing day, more and more of a snipe fest, more and more, unenjoyable for players that like mid to closer range engagements. And that's been the chief complaint for years, that the game's getting way too passive, and it's getting more and more passive with each passing day. But then when wargaming does something that might actually yank the game back more towards those mid-range and close-range engagements, people lose their minds. And why might this game mode force the game to be more mid to close rangey and might force players to play closer now? Well, because it's random battles. You don't know what you're going to get. You might get standard battle, you might get arms race, you might get airship escort, you might get domination. You don't know 100% for sure what you're going to get because it is random. Which means that now you have to take into account that there's a mode in this game that is specifically designed to be a mid to close range mode, primarily. We'll get to that in a second. So you have a 1 in 4 chance of having that happen now. And apparently having a 1 in 4 chance of no longer being able to sit in the back and snipe with whatever hyper-accurate battleship, be it the Yami, the Shikishima, the Satsuma, the Slava, or the Vermont, is too much for, again, I'm not sure if it's a small group of very vocal people or a large group of players all overall. Because that is, oddly enough, that is the chief complaint I'm seeing about Airship Escort coming to randoms now. Not that I'm a brawling player and I enjoy brawling, I want to just brawl 24/7. It's more of these players that are saying, well, I can't take the ship that's best for the current meta anymore because now we have this Airship Escort mode in where I might have to play close. That's the complaint I'm seeing. What? And I know it may not be these exact players that are posting about the game, the game having this mode in it now, but I'm willing to bet that a group of these players, there's some crossover there that were complaining that the game's been too passive. I doubt they're all, snipers sitting in the back with their Slavas every single game. It might be a kind of a union thing where they've all decided to post their grievances at once about this, but that is not what I was expecting to see about Airship Escort. Now, the thing is, the players that really like to brawl have probably been taking their GKs, their Atlanticos, their Bismarcks, their Tirpitz, their Schlieffens into game over the past 3 years, knowing that, yeah, the ship isn't really going to work out for this, but I just enjoy playing it, so I'm going to make it work. That's been happening for 3 years. I know. My GK battles have still been going up over the past 3 years, because I just like the GK that much. Stupid German BB man. Yeah, I know, understand all that. But now that there's a mode where you can't just sit in the back, well, you're not supposed to sit in the back. People still sit in the back because that's just online gaming. That's how it works. No matter what happens, there's going to be somebody in the back with a sniper. I mean, you guys remember Russian Battlefield 3. There's someone with a sniper sitting on top of the stairwell or something on Operation Metro. Like, bro, it's a subway. You don't need a 20 times scope in the subway, but it still happened, But anyway, so that is the chief complaint, which is it's just what? Wargaming's actually trying to do something the player base has been shouting about for years, which is address the very passive meta, and people are losing their minds over it. Now, again, it could very well just be a small set of players that are very loud, And I'm hoping that's what it is. And, I mean, oddly enough, I tried to get some Airship Escort footage for the background footage for this video. I had one game where an Ohio got in my way and things didn't go too well. And then I didn't get it for the rest of the time that I was trying to just grab some quick background footage. So that's ironic. But yeah, I mean, it's free content that's coming to the game that was very popular, that was always going to be added to random battles. Wargaming was very clear about this from the start. They didn't say, you know, oh, this is a separate mode that we're testing out by itself and we're planning on adding it in by itself. They were very clear from the beginning that if this goes well, our plan is to put this into randoms battles. You know, it's not like the super ships or the submarine holiday event where it was kind of just like, oh, you know, it's a temporary event. They didn't really say much more about it. Then they went and dumped them into random battles. They were very clear that this is, you know, this is going to be in random battles one day if this goes well. And it went well. And again, everyone I talked to enjoyed it quite a bit. So, and there is a valid argument in the case of you pick your ship before you go into battle, right? It's not like Battlefield where you can get into a game and then change your loadout. I mean, hell, even in War Thunder, you have your various tanks and vehicles that you can set on your bar when you go into battle, and then you can pick what you want to play. That is a very valid argument and a good critique of the game. So maybe if Wargaming added something where you could pick your preferred mode in random battles, like say you could pick 2 modes that you would like to play more than the other 2, and if it can, Matchmaker will try to put you into those modes. So let's say you're me. I like close range engagement, so I want to play Domination and Airship Escort. And the Matchmaker tries to put me into a Domination or an Airship Escort mode if it can. And if it can't, oh, into Standard Battle or Arms Race I go. I think that would probably be the best happy medium here, because the player base, especially on the North American server, I don't think it's large enough to have... Well, I say that, but... I was going to say I don't think it's large enough to have a standalone Airship Escort mode, but I mean, there was it 2 updates ago when we had Airship Escort, random battles, ranked, brawls, operations, clan battles all running at the same time, and you could hop into any of those modes and just go for it. So I guess you do have an argument there, but I really don't see anything wrong with it having it in random battles. I really don't. I mean, if your complaint is that you can't snipe 24/7 now, you're probably still going to be sniping 24/7, because if you enjoy that type of gameplay that much, you're probably still going to do it, and you're probably still going to do well, because again, you know, having a Vermont in the back of the Airship Escort mode and just blapping the broadsides of the enemy ships that are, you know, trying to rush your airship or trying to escort their airship can still be a pretty useful tactic. Not saying everyone should be doing that, but it'll still work. You know, whereas brawling is a much more risky type of gameplay, because, you know, you're putting more of your ship at risk, you're getting closer to the enemy team, greater chance for you to eat torps, so forth and so on. So, yeah. Again, my 2 cents is it's more free content coming to the game. It's a mode that was vastly enjoyed by the player base, and it's something that will hopefully help yank the game back towards, you know, that mid to close range type of combat, because again, you don't know what you're going to get, so people will probably start taking, hopefully over time, you know, ships that are better at mid range, and they're not going to just take the snipers anymore, because they know that they could get into an Airship Escort game where you have to play more mid range. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's just been a thought that's been on my mind over the past couple of days with the release of 12.8 getting closer. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you have a wonderful Friday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.